Thank you, Tony. New at 5, a man convicted of sexually assaulting 3 children decades ago is once again in a Rhode Island jail tonight.
And we reported last week that Richard Gardner's arrested in Massachusetts on accusations he violated his probation just weeks after his release from prison. This afternoon, he answered to the same accusations in Kent County Court.
And that's where we find Eyewitness News reporter Jared Pliner live from the West Bay Mobile Newsroom.
Mike Shannon, good evening. Prosecutors consider this man a confessed child predator who went on a spree of sexual assault in the late 1980s. Now he is in trouble again.
Richard Gardner.
49-year-old Richard Gardner of Weymouth didn't say much more than that in Kent County Court on Wednesday. The convicted child rapist who admitted to sexually assaulting 2 Warwick boys in the late 80s. He was released from a mass prison 2 weeks ago and days later went to a Quincy library where prosecutors say he violated probation and logged onto a computer.
He was seen by the librarian apparently viewing pictures of a male, a shirtless male, and when he was approached by one of the library staff, they described him as quickly turning off the screen.
Prosecutors also say Gardner violated a Quincy city ordinance barring level 3 sex offenders from certain places. Public defender Melissa Braatz argued there's no indication Gardner was given notice.
There's nothing that says it was on the door or in the room that he was in or even in the lobby area.
Braatz also questioned Gardner's probation restrictions.
Is he then also not allowed at the Barnes & Noble up the road because there's a children's area? Is he not allowed in the Target because children go there? How far-reaching is this?
Gardner was convicted of raping a Massachusetts boy in the woods in 1987. While awaiting sentencing, Gardner took a 10-year-old from his Warwick bedroom at knife point and sexually assaulted him in a field, later taking a 6-year-old from a Warwick library, tying him to a tree and assaulting him. And once sentenced to a remarkable over 200 years behind bar, the sentence was later reduced. He ended up serving over 2 decades in prisons in both Rhode Island and Massachusetts. The magistrate today, as perhaps predicted, considered him a danger to society at large and held him without bail until this future hearing. Coming up new at 6 o'clock, how a local DA admits his office made a very serious mistake in this case. We'll explain next hour. Live outside Kent County Court with the West Bay Mobile Newsroom, I'm Jared Pliner, Eyewitness News.
A convicted child rapist who served more than 2 decades in prison is now back behind bars here in Rhode Island. This afternoon, Richard Gardner appeared in Kent County Superior Court and was ordered held without bail. Gardner was extradited from Massachusetts, where he's accused of violating the terms of his probation just days after being freed from prison. And now a district attorney admits making a mistake in Gardner's release. Eyewitness News reporter Jared Pliner joins us live from Superior Court in Warwick with the West Bay Mobile Newsroom.
Shannon, that's right. The magistrate today said in light of his record, Gardner is a danger to the public and should be held without bail before a probation violation hearing can take place. 49-year-old Richard Gardner of Weymouth in a Rhode Island courtroom for the first time in a long time. He was just released from a Massachusetts prison, an admitted child rapist who sexually assaulted multiple children, including 2 Warwick boys in the 80s. Gardner's accused of violating probation. Prosecutors say he improperly went to a Quincy library, logged onto a computer, and viewed a shirtless male. And now a Massachusetts DA admits his office made a serious mistake, failing to ask a judge to declare Gardner a sexually dangerous person and to send him to a treatment facility. Plymouth DA Timothy Cruz's office writes, "Our sexually dangerous persons unit was notified of Mr. Gardner's anticipated release in April. Our office did not move to civilly commit Mr. Gardner. The office calls that a human error and says steps were taken to ensure it doesn't happen again." In the Quincy matter, Gardner's attorney for today argued a library could fit into a vague category of places Gardner might not be barred from visiting. This was Gardner's mass defender on Monday.
At some point, we all have to decide what we are doing to people that are the untouchables.
Gardner had several cases, and one of them he took a boy from his Warwick bedroom at knife point and sexually assaulted him in a nearby field. In another, he took a 6-year-old from a Warwick library, tied him to a tree, and sexually assaulted him. Live with the Mobile Newsroom tonight, I'm Jared Pliner, Eyewitness News.